Hello, Zargons and Heroes. I'm Alfrich, and this is the Trials and Tribulations of Zargon. This video takes us to the Frozen North to review Zargon's efforts to revive the Frozen Horror. Our run-through includes some modifications to address the fact that the heroes have been leveling up using our homemade leveling system. So if you haven't yet, be sure to check out our videos on that system and the overview of our house rules for the Frozen Horror. I'll highlight any rules that were particularly relevant in this video, which will cover Frozen Horror Solo Quest 3, The Rescue. Since our solo Barbarian died on the way through Quest 1 and again in Quest 2, Matt took 2 heroes into Quest 3, another fresh recruit from the Frozen North, affectionately named New Barbarian, and his elf, fully outfitted and having gained a couple of levels, including one that gave access to the spell Double Image. The caveat to this 2-hero system was that our Wandering Monster timer was in effect, as was our Monsters Can Pass Through Unopened Doors rule, so the heroes had to move in and kill monsters quickly while blocking escape paths. Mentor opens the quest by telling heroes, the minions of the Frozen Horror have captured Gothar, the Barbarian tribe's great elder. He has been taken to an evil, dread stronghold near Ice Mountain, and Gothar has great wisdom, but he is old and frail. He cannot survive long in the cruel hands of the creatures of dread. Your final solo test is to enter the stronghold, find Gothar, and bring him out safely. Begin on the spiral stairway and return to it to end your quest. The hero or heroes begin in the southern room of the northwestern quadrant, and a solo barbarian might just instantly lose by taking a secret door north, since the first monster encountered is a Yeti. However, beyond that room, the hero finds gold and then passes the Orc and Goblin library out into the northern corridor. If instead the hero leaves the stairway room by the western door, a brief encounter yields a battle axe and then out through the central corridor. Whether the hero exits to the north or to the east, the trapped corridors lead to the central chamber or to the southwest quadrant, filled with generic monsters, goblins, mummies playing musical chairs around a spellbook, that sort of thing. Oh, and a chaos warrior apparently trapped in a secret room. However, that quadrant is also filled with treasure, a helmet, and some gold. The central room holds a boss battle of sorts. 3 orcs hold fast before 3 pit traps, and 2 chaos warriors work the rack containing Gothar. This quest was the hero's first success in our run-through of the Frozen Horror quest pack, and the design is the type to encourage careful play of the boring, repetitive type. The design of the objective room is a good example. In that room, there is literally no advantage to the hero moving up to strike a monster, because doing so gives the monsters more faces on which to attack the Barbarian. Moreover, the quest positively punishes any hero who does move up by allowing that hero to be surrounded while in a pit trap, making a logical seeming decision to take out a weak enemy like an orc so that there are fewer to face into a decision that will lead to near certain death. Similarly, like last dungeon, the wrong path is decidedly more deadly. In the case of the 2 doors off of the stair room, one leads into a Yeti and the other leads into a goblin and an abomination. That's good design, that is, having the wrong way be more deadly. However, there's no way to puzzle out the right direction. This is a persistent feature of the Frozen Horror quest pack. The pack punishes adventurers who path poorly or explore too much, but doesn't give a lot of clues to locations. The first is good design, the second, not so much. At the very least, it would be helpful at the outset to let the heroes know that they may not wish to explore the entire dungeon, since the main game sets an expectation that heroes can and should. One other item I want to draw attention to on this map is the ice gremlins. Ice gremlins, in theory, are a lot of fun, but they have to be carefully placed to be interesting and effective. The ice gremlins in this quest, rules as written, are glorified goblins because a hero who opens the door can block it to keep them from running away with the loot. Their placement in this quest worked really nicely for our playthrough, though, because we house rule that monsters can move through doors once revealed. That meant that the southeastern quadrant became a sort of merry-go-round for gremlins and heroes, with the heroes trying to keep the gremlins in sight long enough to get their loot back. A good gremlin placement has 1 or 2 escape paths for the gremlins, so that Zargon can mess with the heroes and force them to make strategic decisions. Maybe even to burn that swift wind spell once in a while. While Matt and I had fun on the solo quests, the heart of the decision-making in hero quests comes when there are multiple heroes with resources to manage. The rescue in this quest could present some interesting decision-making for the hero, since Gothar is weak and at risk of death. His inclusion could force the hero to decide on a quick exit or to make strategic adjustments as they continue the adventure. But the quest notes explicitly take this strategic feature away by specifying that Gothar will only be attacked after the Barbarian accompanying him has died. After running these 3 quests, we were glad to get back to group quests, and I'm looking forward to talking about those in the near future. In the meantime, if you have tips for increasing the amount of decision-making in solo quests, let's plot together in the comments below.